and welcome back indeed. I had a conversation sometime last week actually with a lady who was just taking me through her life, and expressing how frustrated she's feeling because she's got parents that are very important people in the community that people look up to, they rely on, they hold very highly, and they're very available for people. If there's something that is going on, they're the first to be called, and also they're the first to respond, and they're very responsive. And it is has been like that for their whole lives, as far as they can remember. They were born into this type of lifestyle. But right now, as an adult, this lady is saying, I'm struggling. I'm struggling because I don't experience the love, warmth that people are experiencing about my own parents, from my own parents. I don't know them. People talk about them and I hear them, but I don't get it because I don't have the experience. I've never experienced that. All I know is that I'm always second. I always need to give space for others. I always need to understand. I always need to put my needs aside. I always need to, yeah, those type of things, just so that my parents can be who they are and in the community. But when it comes to me, I don't know that. And what do I do? Because I am angry. I am not okay. I'm going to therapy. I've got mommy issues because I need love. I need to be wanted. I want to be loved. I want to be needed. I want to be put first. But how do I explain that? How do I put that through? Because if I talk to my family and everybody or people that are close to us, what they expect is that I should understand. Like, you need to understand that your parents are big people, they're very busy and they love you, but this is their life and all of that. And I guess that's the life of service most of the time. I can imagine if you are a president or a minister or a pastor or whatever. I mean, that's going to be your life. You either travel so much or you just have to serve the community or the church or something like that, which can really, really create a big gap in your own family, in your own space, because you're not available. You don't make the time. There's an expectation that your family must understand your life and not try and make your life difficult, but rather make it easy for you. Now you have a child who's there who says, I don't even know. I might just call my mother now and say this, and they'll tell me they are driving somewhere or going somewhere, or there's this and that happening. But they're not going to attend to me, not even right now. They may call me on their way back, but I'm not going to have that hug or that phone call that will last 30 minutes with my mother on the phone, just hearing them care about me, or just for me to be a baby or a child. So, can you imagine? I mean, I can understand and I can relate to that, because how do you navigate that? Your parent is maybe a principal. It could be anything. I mean, you guys can also help and chip in terms of bringing through the type of roles that are there and probably what you've experienced, because it's you've got to give some. You're gonna lose something, especially if the parents are not even trying to make that balance or to make themselves available to their family, and they don't put the boundaries and make them clear to other people that, okay, in this time I'm gonna cut off here because my daughter needs me. Because I think some are able to do that, but I don't know if most of our parents are able to put in the boundaries. I think most of our parents enjoy the limelight, the respect, and they don't want to lose that, and end up just making themselves overly available for everything and neglecting what their family needs. And I can imagine sometimes it's the spouse that doesn't know this husband or this man that is praised outside. Oh, your husband's so great. Oh, such a, helpful man, so available, da 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 da, da. And you're like, I need him in the house, and I hardly even see or experience him in here. So I can imagine that it's sometimes a spouse, sometimes it's the children, and sometimes if both your parents are sharing kind of like the same lifestyle, you as the children can suffer. Which makes sense also for pastors' children, and we always wonder or expect that when you're a child of a pastor, you should behave and live your life according to the principles and the lifestyles that your parents are living. But in honest truth, there is going to be a problem, and sometimes it's the conflict that makes the children possibly behave the opposite way. So it's not really that they don't like you, but they're like, but you don't do what you preach, kind of a thing. I'm here needing you and you there helping others. It's okay to forgive other people, but when I make a mistake, it's a big deal because you don't give me the same amount of grace that you give other people. You don't give me the same amount of attention or of love that you give other people. Very judgmental and stern when it comes to me. I must understand. I must, not bother you. I must just be. So it was very interesting for me, but I'm glad I was able to listen and not also try and judge, but because I was very curious about it. And I hope that I have helped her in her conversation just by listening. I don't think I had any advice because I tried to find out, can't you talk to the elders? Can't you talk to others? Says no. Everybody feels that my parents are great to everyone. They're not going to understand me. And in terms of the siblings as well, it was a matter of, look, I don't know if my siblings feel the same way. Some I don't think they do because they are part of the lifestyle. This one's the eldest, so it's like, I don't know. I just don't feel like I fit in, and I don't feel like I have my parents, and I'm longing. I've got that emptiness in me that I need my parents. Tough one. And I know we also try and be these big professionals at work. You want to be a director, you want to be, a big person, professors and everything. And in the pursuit of all of that, you could neglect your own family. Or when you arrive at that stage or at that level where then you are that professor or that professional, that director, and everybody feels like, wow, you're so great. Oh, I hope you've got such a great mother. I'm sure your mother talks to you about these things. I'm sure you've got advice for everything. I'm sure this and this and this. And you're sitting there like, what? I've never even had this conversation with my mother. I possibly had it with my aunt or whatever, my friends, but not with my mother. She did what? She talks to you about what? She advises you. And you don't know that experience. You don't know that parent. You don't know that person. What do you do and how do you then navigate that? What type of a conversation do you have with your parents? And I don't know if you even will be able to explain it. So I don't have solutions today. I'm just sharing an experience that I can believe that most people understand and can resonate with, and just want to understand from you. And you can respond to the comments and write in terms of what you've seen, what your experiences are, and what you've done probably to make sure that there's a balance, or to make your parents aware of the void that you're feeling or that they're leaving behind. If you've done anything like that, or there's an intervention that has worked, it would be great to know. I'm sure that also, since this lady is also part of the channel, we'll be able to see from your conversations and from your advice on maybe how to navigate this dilemma, because it can be very lonely. Because, we know that people can be lonely even when they are with other people. And loneliness is now becoming one of those big things in terms of mental wellness, that people are feeling alone. And they're feeling alone whether they're with people, whether they're in a party, but there's a sense of loneliness that is there. And this is a perfect example of that type of loneliness that I'm experiencing, or that I heard from this lady. So please, can we hear from you on the comments, so we can at least share about this experience?